History, as we learn it, often feels clean and organized, events placed in order, causes clearly explained, and outcomes neatly defined. But when we look deeper, we begin to see that history is not always that simple. It is shaped by those who record it, influenced by power, and sometimes incomplete. The truth behind famous historical events is rarely just one story. It is a sequence of decisions, actions, and consequences that unfold over time, often leaving behind questions that never get fully answered. If we move step by step, one of the most impactful modern events to examine is the September 11th attacks. It began as an ordinary day, but within hours, it turned into a global tragedy. The immediate truth was clear: coordinated attacks caused massive destruction and loss of life. However, as time passed, deeper layers started to emerge. Questions about intelligence warnings, security lapses, and the speed of the response became part of the discussion. Then came the consequences: wars, new security policies, and a shift in global politics. So, the event itself was only the beginning. Its impact created a chain reaction that still shapes the world today. Following a similar pattern of mystery and unanswered questions is the assassination of John F. Kennedy. The sequence here also begins with a shocking moment: a president assassinated in broad daylight. Soon after, an official explanation was provided, stating that a single individual was responsible. But the story did not end there. Witness accounts, missing details, and the sudden death of the accused created doubts. Over time, these doubts turned into theories, and those theories turned into a lasting debate. This shows how an event can start with a clear narrative but evolve into something much more uncertain. Next, consider the moon landing, which followed a very different sequence. It began with ambition, the desire to explore space and achieve something no human had done before. Then came the event itself, a moment of triumph watched by millions around the world. But after the celebration, questions began to surface. Some people started analyzing photos, videos, and details, leading to doubts and alternative theories. Even though scientific evidence strongly supports the event, the sequence shows how public perception can shift over time, turning a moment of achievement into a subject of debate. Looking further back, the French Revolution also follows a powerful sequence. It started with inequality and frustration among the people. That frustration led to rebellion, and the rebellion quickly turned into chaos. What began as a fight for freedom soon involved violence, executions, and political instability. Eventually, new leadership emerged, but not without a heavy cost. This sequence reminds us that even movements driven by positive ideals can take unexpected and sometimes dark turns. The World War II provides another clear example of how events unfold over time. It did not start suddenly. It was the result of growing tensions, economic struggles, and unresolved conflicts from the past. When the war finally began, it brought destruction on a massive scale. As it progressed, decisions were made that continue to raise ethical questions, including the use of powerful weapons. When the war ended, the world was not simply at peace, it was changed, divided, and entering a new phase of global tension. Again, the truth of the event lies not just in what happened, but in how and why it happened over time. Even ancient achievements like the Pyramids of Giza follow a sequence that still fascinates historians. First came the vision and planning, then the massive effort of construction. But despite all the research, the exact methods used remain partly unknown. This leaves room for curiosity and speculation, showing that some parts of history continue to evolve as we learn more. When we connect all these events, a pattern becomes clear. Every historical event has a beginning, a turning point, and an aftermath. The beginning often involves hidden tensions or ambitions. The turning point is the event itself, sudden, powerful, and attention-grabbing. But the aftermath is where the deeper truth lies, as consequences unfold and new questions arise. Understanding history in this sequence helps us see beyond the surface and recognize that every event is part of a larger story. In the end, the truth behind famous historical events is not just about what happened, but about how those events developed over time and how they continue to influence the present. History is not a fixed record, it is an ongoing process of discovery and interpretation. And as we continue to question and explore, we come closer to understanding not just the past, but also the forces that shape our world today.